Hey guys, it's Yostillo again. Liz, Starlight Pin. However you came to visit me, welcome back to my second video. I've learned a lot from the last week. Apparently the audio from my last video was really quiet, and I'm working on fixing that now. But I guess since I have an opportunity to be topical, I'm going to talk about what I'm working on now. I'm working on a vector piece. I mentioned in my last video that I've done a lot of different mediums. That's not just traditional, like the marker piece I did last week. That also includes digital. In fact, vector is one of my favorite digital mediums to play around in, and I think that's because of the huge potential to it. Though I suppose before I should go any further, I should explain how vectoring works for anyone who doesn't know. It's okay if you don't know. It's okay, you don't have to know everything. Who said you have to know everything? Vector is basically a way to make a large and infinitely scalable graphic is properly the proper word. Like, if you use any clip art that's been made in like the last 5 years, you'll notice that you can make it huge and it won't pixelate like older or raster images will, or like any image made basic on Photoshop. That's a vector. Vector is this small piece I'm working on. Once I put it together, I could theoretically take this one piece, make the image as large as a house, and print it out and not have any issues with the print resolution. I don't do that, but I'm saying I could. That's the potential of a vector image. And for some reason, I guess that kind of devalues vector images for some people because it's, well, like it's really easy to reproduce, although I like to consider the potential of it. And by the way, I'm just speaking out of nowhere. I've just saying stuff that I've sort of gathered that vector's really easy. It isn't. First of all, I might as well cover that now. I'm using Inkscape here. It's open source and it's the most approachable vector graphic software I've come across so far. And even that has bugs. Regularly weird stuff will happen, I won't know why, and I'll have to back out until I figured out what did happen. Sometimes the program will crash randomly, and that'll be when I press too many buttons at once. I'm talking like 4 buttons at once at most. And sometimes it'll just crash, but it'll try and save a copy of what you're working on, so that's good. But it does take a bit of a learning curve. If you're going to try vector, I might as well mention this now, if you're going to try vector, I recommend Inkscape highly. It's not as difficult as the non-open source you need to pay for programs. The reason I like it is, again, the potential. You can get really deep into detail. Like, say I wanted to make a field of flowers. I could make one flower and sort of copy-paste the entire thing throughout the whole field, and I'd be able to apply an immense amount of detail to one flower, and that would make it look more, I want to say more rich, more detailed throughout the whole field. You'll see a lot of Flash cartoons use this. They'll use vector for their characters. That way they'll be able to scale it to whatever scale they need without having to redraw it, which is one of the advantages that programs like Flash have over traditional ones, although traditional does definitely have its advantages. Don't let anyone fool you. As for the image I chose to do itself, I've always liked doing Asian imagery, which is an odd thing to say out loud. When I was taking classes my last year, I made a piece that was like an origami piece with someone sitting inside and there was a lotus around them, and I didn't realize that I was pretty much blatantly doing Asian imagery until someone pointed it out. It was just something that I'd always done because it was the stuff I liked to see. And there's nothing really wrong with doing that, although it doesn't really allow you to explore. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but once I realized that, I was really able to explore who I was because I'm not Asian. I'm not Asian. There's nothing wrong with being Asian. There's nothing wrong with being not Asian, but yeah, that's about it. That's the kind of stuff that art school will teach you. Anyway, I guess I'm going to wrap up. If you liked this video, hit that like, it helps me a lot. If you want to see more videos in the future, hit subscribe. I'm going to be doing at least one per week. And thank you for watching. Y'all have a great day. Bye!